All right. A famed documentary journalist discovers she is a prominent character in a novel that reveals a secret she has tried to keep hidden. When that novel appears at the bedside of that journalist whose career has been built on revealing transgressions, she is horrified to realize she's a key character in a long buried story, one that exposes her darkest secret. Disclaimer is a psychological thriller miniseries written and directed by Oscar winner Alfonso Cuarón, based on the 2015 novel of the same name by Renee Knight. All right, Charles, let's start first on this one because there's a lot of controversy around this between Charles and I, right?
Okay. Okay.
When I was watching, it's a seven-part miniseries. And when I first started watching it, I called Charles after I watched episode 4. And I
Hmm.
was just horrified with, boy, this has got to be one of the worst people I've ever seen on film on the planet, right? Like and Charles, you know the act that I'm talking about without saying it.
Oh
It
yeah.
was
Oh yeah.
horrific, man. Like, what kind of human being does that to another human being, right? And then I start back watching it some more. And then the next episode is even worse because the actions that are triggered in that episode now lead somebody else, another family who wants revenge to do all. I mean, like it was just bad to watch it. I guess it was bad for my spirit and how Renee Knight's novel kind of lays all this stuff out. And so fast forward to the day. So Charles calls me up and we're doing our pre-show call meeting that we do every week. And Charles is like, yeah, we're doing this movie today. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, well, are you ready? What did you tell me? Are you ready to retract your statement? And I'm like, no, why would I retract my statement? I stopped after episode 6 because the events that happened at the end of the sixth episode, I was like, oh man, I see where this is going. I don't even want to watch this. And
Okay,
then
folks.
Charles
Okay,
goes,
folks. There's only 7 episodes in the whole series. Why would you stop at 6? But anyway, go
because
ahead.
I thought Charles, look, stop. You know what happens at the end of 6. So I'm like, oh God, it's only gonna get worse. I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna get horrible. And to Charles's point, Charles is like, just watch it. And when I watched it, I went, now I'm mad again, but I'm mad for a different reason because we did a show back when Jonathan Majors. Remember this about a year and a half ago? We did a show called Rush to Judgment. Remember that?
Right. Right. Right.
So episode 7 exposes the rush to judgment that everybody was feeling in the show. And now I'll put it to you like this. The best analogy that I have, and I'm gonna go through some notes. The best analogy I have with this film would almost be like women's rights, right? You know how we always talk about there's always a group of men that are trying to make decisions around a woman's body, right? And I feel that disclaimer in a very weird way is very similar about a bunch of men and their perceptions about a woman. I mean, Charles, am I right?
You're absolutely right.
Oh my God, man. So let me just go through here,
The
man.
perception that Tim Gordon got swept up in too.
I, and I'm guilty too. I'm a guy too. Stay out of women's business. That's what I'm saying. So wait a minute. So Charles, getting to that, it's been said that there are three sides to every story, right?
Right.
There's your side, this other person's side, and then there's the
And it's
truth.
the truth.
And in this 7 episode, Rashomon liked tell a series of events that transformed the lives of two families. Now, I talked about the prominent journalist begins to experience her life closing in after a long buried secret comes to life. Now, it begins a chain reaction which leads to challenges in her marriage and an insidious plot against her by the father of a long gone drowning victim in search of vengeance. Now, Catherine Ravenscroft, which is played by the adult version, is played by Kate Blanchett, Oscar winner Kate Blanchett, and George plays the young Catherine, is a
Mm.
respected journalist who discovers a novel that details one of the most painful episodes of her life. The revelation jars her insecure husband, Robert, played brilliantly, I would add, by Sacha Baron Cohen, who
Mm.
thinks his wife is a monster. Meanwhile, a retired school teacher, Stephen, played by Kevin Kline, has lost everyone he cares about, but finds a reason to live when he has a new mission to destroy Catherine's life for what she did to his family. And I'm gonna leave it right there. Now, based on Renee Knight's novel, the story, and I think Charles uses an M. Night Shyamalan-like device that firmly establishes the primary tale before it provides the viewer another option.
Mm-hmm.
Now, watching earlier episodes, the story displays heinous behavior on both sides, almost making some of these scenes, in my estimation, very difficult to watch. Now, Oscar winner Alfonso Cuarón has created an intense character study about human nature at its worst and just how hatred can also give someone oxygen. Think about that for a second.
Hmm.
We know we always talk about we need love. This film is the flip side of that love and showing that hate can
Hey.
also make somebody move forward. This mini series is littered with like amazing performances by people who are like technicians of their work. Like
Yeah.
Corion as a director is a technician. Blanchett and Klein are technicians. These are professional actors who are really at the top of their craft, man, who are getting it done.
All right, wrap it up. What's your grade on Disclaimer? What would you give it?
Man, I gave it a B plus, man.
Yeah, me too. B plus.
Gave it a B plus, man. I think it's really, really good, man.